the SteelSeries Rival 310 and the Logitech G403 Prodigy, both top tier mice with top tier sensors, and both sport an ergonomic shape. With so many similarities, many are wondering which is the better choice for them, and this comparison is here to help you answer that question. Let's start with the sensors. The lift-off distance for both mice is less than 1 dBd, and there is no sensor rattle. Both mice are using a modified version of the 3360 optical sensor, the G403 having the 3366 and the Rival 310 having the TrueMove 3. On the G403, jitter reduction kicks in at 2100 dpi, which adds some additional processing and latency. On the Rival 310, this doesn't occur until 3500 dpi, so if you use a DPI that is between 2100 and 3500, then the sensor on the 310 will be more accurate. But for many gamers who use a low DPI, including myself, this is pretty much irrelevant. What is more likely to affect your performance with each mouse will be the shape. Both mice are ergonomic, made for right-handed users, though there are some differences. The 310 is longer and is slimmer towards the front and midsection. It has a wider back at the base, but it isn't as wide on the hump, as it has a long curve on the right side, making the hump narrower towards the top. This means that the hump on the G403 is wider and it also sits further back. This is something that becomes clear when using each mouse. The left side of each mouse is similar, being relatively flat, with the side buttons protruding outwards towards the top to provide some assistance for the thumb. On the right side, the G403 slopes downwards and stays relatively flat throughout the length of the mouse. The Rival 310 has a wide curve, which flattens out towards the front and then flares slightly outwards at the top to provide some assistance for the ring and pinky fingers. When I use palm grip, the curve of the Rival 310 is very comfortable. I'd give it the edge over the G403 here. For claw grip, I would also give the edge to the Rival 310. I usually prefer mice with flatter sides, but my ring and pinky fingers rest on the flat part of the 310, so this isn't a problem. And the G403 just feels a little too wide, and the hump limits my range of motion slightly. For fingertip, I'd give the edge to the G403, due to it being smaller and having flatter sides. Keep in mind that this is just my opinion, and your preference could vary depending on your hand size and your playstyle. Everyone is different. For reference, my hands are roughly 20 by 10.5 centimeters. Both mice feature rubber sides, which feel great and improve your grip. The Rival 310 has a matte plastic texture on top, while the G403 has really smooth plastic, which almost feels like rubber. I prefer the materials on the G403, it just feels nice and smooth, and more premium overall, though the 310 feels great too. The Rival 310 weighs in at 90 grams, and the G403 weighs in at 90 grams without the movable weight, and 100 grams with the weight installed. The cable on the 310 is rubber and is 2 meters long. It isn't too flimsy or too stiff. The G403's cable is 2 meters and is braided, which sadly is a little stiff. It is also quite thick. In fact, it's known to be too thick for some mouse bungees. Fortunately, a wireless version of the G403 is available, though it is more expensive and is also a little heavier, but it is nice to have options and it does solve the cable issue. The G403 uses Omron's 20 million rated switches, while the Rival 310 uses Omron's mechanical 50 million rated switches. While the Rival's buttons have better specs, the implementation isn't as great as the buttons on the G403. Mouse 1 and Mouse 2 on the Rival 310 have some wobble to them, as well as a significant amount of travel after activating the click. This isn't a big deal if you use the right amount of force, but if you press down too hard, then these buttons can feel a little spongy. The G403's buttons, however, are excellent, feeling very crisp. There is barely any wobble or travel distance. The size and position of the side buttons on both mice are good, though they are quite difficult to press in on the Rival. The DPI button is fine on both mice. And finally, the scroll wheel on the G403 is smooth, but is quite difficult to click, whereas the scroll wheel on the Rival 310 feels good, but is quite easy to rotate, which can cause you to over-scroll. The G403 has the best buttons overall. I have had no issues with the 310 in-game, but I just prefer the feel of the G403's buttons. In terms of software, the G403 has some more options. It has up to 5 DPI steps, whereas the 310 is limited to 2. The Logitech software also offers a surface tuning tool, which scans the surface of your mousepad to better understand its material. This isn't offered for the Rival 310, though many people have questioned how effective that really is. Apart from those differences, both the Logitech gaming software and the SteelSeries engine allow you to create custom profiles, set up shortcuts, keystrokes and macros, adjust the polling rate, and also customize the RGB lighting. Both mice are great options if you're looking for a comfortable, reliable and accurate mouse that is suitable for competitive play. In my opinion, the Rival 310 has a slightly superior sensor, at least between 2100 and 3500 dpi. It also has a superior shape and a better cable, though the G403 has slightly better materials, excellent buttons, a few more software features, and the choice of a wireless version. Whichever one you pick is ultimately up to you. They are both excellent mice, you just have to decide which factors are most important to you. If you plan on buying either of these mice, I have put Amazon links in the description below, which will also help support me, so thank you in advance if you use those. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and share it with those who may be interested. This has been JoshTechBytes, thank you for watching.